That's Apple CEO Tim Cook slamming Facebook over their privacy controls. But should we really be surprised that Facebook has misused this privacy and all of the information that we voluntarily have given to them? To Sun Microsystems and weigh in co-founder Scott McNealy, who says, if you don't like what Facebook is doing with your data, then you can leave it. Scott, is it easier said than done? If all your buddies and all your friends are on Facebook, is there that sort of pressure to be there as well?
I don't know. I don't really use Facebook. I actually use my phone and email. So, you know, it depends on how you have to get in touch with people. But, you know, I think the important thing about Facebook to remember is if the product is free, and there's lots of free services out there on the network, you're not a customer. You are the product. Your data, your information, your profile is the product. If Facebook can't use that data, what do they have? They have no revenue. If they have no revenue, they're going to have to charge a fee, so they're going to charge subscription. I worry that if we regulate all this stuff away, that there will be no free network social services out there, and that's a very regressive tax on people who you know, want to use this service.
There's no doubt that the element of it being free is attractive. WhatsApp, they spent a lot of money on that product. Again, another free product that connects people all around the world. And yet there's some feeling that when the company goes before Congress, that something will come out of this akin to more regulations, even if it's the company somehow being more transparent. Is there something, is it okay if that they're more transparent with our information? And is there room for us to, as consumers, benefit as well? Can we get a piece of the action from our information?
Well, yeah, you can get a piece of the action. The company I'm chairman of, Weigh In, is actually putting together social experiences out there where you actually get rewarded for sharing what your intents are, what your attitudes are, that sort of thing. And there's a reward system for giving that up, as opposed to something that's supposedly secret. But somebody a long time ago, like a couple decades ago, said you have no privacy, get over it. Apparently they didn't listen to me back then. I tell my boys, anything that goes out on the internet, you just have to assume is a digital tattoo that could go viral at any moment. And forget me is a fantasy, you know, that I just don't know how you forget. And I also say if you click through on a license that's more than a paragraph long and not in English, or you know, if it's in legalese, assume that whatever you're doing on that service is going to be available. I just don't know how you operate in any other way. But if it's free, people are going to use your data because they have to monetize the service. It's not free to give you that service, so they're going to have to charge for you. The other thing is, who got hurt and how? And let's prioritize the risks and threats do you have. Is there a risk that Facebook is going to do something bad to me compared to, let's just pick my government, who is involuntarily confiscating about 2/3 of my income every year and giving it to things that I don't necessarily support, like loaning to students who aren't going to pay it back, or going to tenured professors and government sector union teachers in a school system, or putting me in the same insurance pool of people who overeat, ride motorcycles without helmets, and get stoned all day. They do a lot of things with my money that I don't appreciate. I think the government is a far greater risk of having privacy access. Look at the FISA warrant issue. Were the judges ever held responsible for giving up FISA warrants that were based on false, fake news? There's so much more great and horrible risks, I think, when governments. I'm more worried about government officials inside the U.S. government screwing around with our elections than I am with the Russians. And yet we keep prioritizing all this stuff. I just find lots of people in the government running around yelling, criminal, criminal, when they ought to be looking in the mirror. Right. And so I just get very, very nervous when the government wants to get involved. And I don't think Zuck should go there and say, yeah, I need to be regulated. No, there's the invisible hand. That is far more effective at regulation and far less corrupt than the swamp doing it.
Well, and having said all those things, there's a curiosity factor that this is sort of known practice. I mean, whether you call it harvesting or you get this information to try to manipulate people to buy a product, to take a certain action. And yet, when it was done by Barack Obama, and not to get too political, but Apparently his team had 5 times the information that Cambridge Analytica did, and they bragged about it, and so did Facebook.
Eric Schmidt and his team were brilliant at getting Obama elected using big data. Big data is personal data. It's not impersonal data, because what is voting all about? It's about personal preferences. So, yeah, there's a huge hypocrisy there, but I don't want to get into there. It's just, what are they teaching? What are the parents teaching their children? And what are the schools teaching us about getting online? I mean, it's blatantly obvious. And nobody can read these click-through licenses that are 50 pages. And Tim Cook, look at your own click-through licenses before you start chucking rocks. I mean, you have to have 12 years of graduate legal degrees to read those things, and it's security through obscurity for the company. So I just think, and what I tell my 4 boys, everything's a digital tattoo. You're not going to be able to forget. And as long as the government is overreaching, they're the only ones you really need to worry about having data on you.
Well, also, though, let's face it, the government does have a certain amount of power and control. They can make life miserable or more miserable for Facebook, and probably that's why Zuckerberg is going there and trying to sort of fall on his sword enough to mitigate their intrusion into his business.
Well, I think free is a wonderful service, and but it is never totally free. There is no free lunch out there. And again, like I said, if the service is free, your data is the product. If there's for fee, then you can actually say, hey, I have a bargain. I paid you to not share my data.
On your service way in, how do you deal with this? How do you deal with this issue, perhaps, of transparency? Certainly, the language that you use to let people know how their information will be used, shared, or sold.
So we allow brands to have a one-on-one relationship, and it's a clear and focused experience, an interactive experience where the customer knows who they're talking to, and it's a personalized as opposed to an anonymized or a global experience that just happens anywhere and everywhere, like on a social network. So we have a very explicit as opposed to an implicit conversation and sharing of information, and we reward you. Like on HGTV, we run a sweepstakes. You share data, you might get a chance to win a house. There's a very, very clear reward and give and take and transaction that's happening. There's an implicit transaction happening on Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat or Instagram or all those others, and I think that's what, when you got at transparency, I think it's fair, but it seems like obvious to me that there's an implicit transaction going on when I use a free service.